Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. There are many ways that you can support the work that I'm doing here on my channel, and there are many ways that the work that I'm doing can support you on your path. So if you're interested in exploring those things, I've got a lot of information in the description. Thank you very much, you guys. Let's get into the message. And these are the kind of messages that I love to get because it lets me know what the guides on the other side are kind of prioritizing and emphasizing for everybody. And I know that everybody listening to this message is looking for clarity, looking for an understanding or a revelation that's going to help them find that connection that they've been looking for. And a lot of you right now are still looking for a voice. You're still looking for the process of communicating with your guides to be familiar with what you're used to experiencing here. But it's not really going to be that way, but I'll tell you what happens if you study the process and you learn kind of the deeper intricacies of the process. You get familiar with it to the point where it does feel like a voice. It's an automatic translation or understanding that your brain will automatically just put into linear form for you to understand and kind of digest. And when you get familiar with that process, your third eye will open, and then you start experiencing the visual aspect of it too, which takes it obviously to an entirely new level. But the messages coming through from the Pleiadian guides today were pretty profound, and I think are going to provide perspective or, bring forward that revelation that opens the floodgates for a lot of you in your process of communicating and working with your team, because it is important to feel informed. We can trust the process and allow things to unfold authentically and still feel informed during the in the meantime. But when I ask the guides, what can we do to better tune our instruments to receive information from the higher dimensions and be able to hold on to it and process it and understand it in the way that we're meant to. And one of the best pieces of advice that came through was this: stop meditating as a means to an end. And I'm guilty of this and was for probably the better part of a decade on my own personal path. And this actually means a couple things to me. When we are meditating as a means to an end, it's likely that we're entering that meditation with certain expectations of outcome that we are allowing to block us from the real experience or the more authentic experience. And when we go in the meditation with expectations like that, or looking to tip the scales in one way or another, it's like we automatically block or become incompatible with the higher frequencies that we're tapping into, because we've embedded lower ones that we are entertaining instead, or we're letting the ego tell us it needs to be this way for us to accept the results. It needs to feel this way in order for us to move forward like we actually did something or experienced anything. Instead of entering meditation as a means to an end, enter meditation as if it is a brand new journey that you are embarking on that you had never ever experienced before. Every single time. That's the true path. That's the way it works. That's the way that you open yourself to things that you don't know yet. That's how you access higher perspectives, when you unlock yourself from the lower one that you are entertaining. So if we meditate expecting certain outcomes or demanding certain outcomes, or if we meditate trying to escape something or find safety or salvation, we're not going to really do that. What we're doing is we're putting ourselves in a box. We can be loved in that box, but we can't really explore the unknown in the way that we were meant to. And one thing that your soul loves and prioritizes over almost anything else is entering the unknown and doing it the right way, and having the necessary perspective to appreciate the experience as it unfolds brand new for you. So don't have expectations and then you start tapping into those frequencies that you're looking for, and the experiences start happening and they're profound for you because of how different they were than what you expected. And the soul loves that process, so why work against it? The next thing that you should know is that a lot of your guidance and a lot of your communication and a lot of the messages, coming from the other side to you comes in the form of a question. And that question comes to you as a revelation, and then you start exploring the different pathways that have now opened up to you. So when we meditate, we look for answers. We look for direct, precise answers that explain everything about our experience in detail, to spare us the unknown aspect of pursuing the clarity. So what your guides will do on the other side of that is they'll look for an opening. They will send the question your way. The question will come to you, and it will feel so profound that it kind of fuels your path into the next phase, which was what you were initially asking for anyway. The questions we ask and how we ask them, especially if you're one who's working in the Akashic, are very, very important. Sometimes the questions that we're asking are not in alignment or are not compatible or even anywhere in the ballpark to get the solution that we were, or the answer that we were looking for from asking them. Open yourself, open your heart, trust the process, trust that you're heard in the moment. Ask for the clarity to be given, and oftentimes that clarity will come in the form of a question that will allow you to explore your situation from a perspective you didn't have access to previously. What the soul wants is to have the curiosity and to cross paths with the fruits of that curiosity organically and authentically. And sometimes in order to get the full picture that you're looking for, sometimes in order to get, every piece of the puzzle, you're going to get one piece of it here. A week later, you're going to get another piece. A month later, you're going to get another piece. And then suddenly, boom, you have the answer to the question that you asked 6 months ago. And as a reader, I know for a fact that it works like this, because in session, every single session, things come through that are kind of seem irrelevant, meaningless, questions that don't make sense, and then as the reader, we get funny looks, or we just, it's our obligation to throw it out there, whether it's groundbreaking in the moment or not. And then I'll get an email 6 months later, wow, that thing that you said in session, I was kind of puzzled at the time, but then it totally made sense down the road. And the message was embedded long before the solution, answer, or clarity came around. So what do? You have this importance with what you're asking, and it would be nice to get the answer immediately. You can give yourself a lot of peace, and you can save yourself a lot of trouble by trusting and understanding the system and how it works perfectly here and in everywhere else in the universe. And to close this message, I kind of want to backtrack to the beginning and what I said. What I said was, when we're looking to communicate with our guides, we're looking for a voice, and that's what we're familiar with, and we're expecting it to be that way. And a lot of the people that are experiencing the communication at a high level are describing it as feeling, hearing a voice or experiencing it like that. and it will evolve to the point where it just naturally is understood like a voice. And I want to tell you the process of getting there. And it's like we said, understanding the inner workings goes a long way toward increasing your capacity to understand and retain the messages that are quantum rather than linear. The message I was given and put on YouTube a few nights ago was, when we're meditating, don't look for a voice. Instead, look for an intuitive impression that tells your heart a story. And that message rang really true and let me know why it's important for the old souls and the ones that are breaking the veil to live the right way, to not be burdened or over encumbered by the density that everybody else is accumulating, accepting, and working with. The message will always be in the world but not of the world. And if we are spending our spiritual energy on relationship drama, workplace drama, friendship drama, social media drama, and even forms of entertainment that drain us rather than uplift us, the more we spend in those aspects of our experience, the less there is for our heart in terms of spiritual clarity and information to receive. So we only have so much chi, we only have so much spiritual energy, and the nature of our physical structures in the third dimension is that there's only so much that we can hold and work with at one time. So you got to manage your resources the right way. When you lay down at night, have you expended all of your resources dealing with the drama of everyday life, or do you have something left in the tank? Can you open your heart? Can you allow yourself to be vulnerable? Can you let the inner child come out to play? Because that is the version of you who's going to receive the message, who's going to receive the message in its entirety, and who is going to be able to hold it and study it for as long as they like, because the impression was given to you through the heart space who had everything that it needed to embed it in your field. Thank you very much for watching, you guys. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.